The 10th station. Jesus is stripped of his garments. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. The Savior of the world is going to be hung on a cross, and the soldiers removed the only earthly comfort that stood between him and the unforgiving world around him. The soldiers separated his clothes and discussed what should be done with his tunic, with absolutely no regard for the human suffering before them. Yet, while every item of comfort and convenience was removed from Jesus, he was never separated from the love of God, nor the love of God from him. When Jesus is stripped naked, it is the final humiliation. He came into the world naked on a stable floor. He hangs now, or will hang naked on a wooden cross, to die. Everywhere we look today, we are faced with loss of life, of friends, of family, of work, of worship, of school, travel, visiting the sick and the elderly, the bereaved, the loss of human touch that makes life a melody, of the life together that we crave. This time of uncertainty has left us all stripped of our usual routines, vulnerable to the voices that tell us we are alone, and exposed to the illness and the plagues that plague the whole world as we know it. It feels each day that another one of our earthly comforts is stripped from us or is on unstable ground. And this is especially true for the most vulnerable in our communities. Those who were worried about food and shelter and a firm foundation before the pandemic illness fell upon our communities are especially affected now. Homeless people and migrants who are experiencing displacement are being stripped of their dignity. Conflict and climate change can make people feel stripped. Unjust governments and natural disasters, wars and hunger, all of these leave us vulnerable and stripped of our basic needs. And yet, the love of God has never left us. While we're having to move away physically from our family members, our communities, our churches, our routines, we can choose to move closer toward God. And as we take this time during the Stations of the Cross to move spiritually toward God in a little way, maybe we're able spiritually to move closer toward one another too. Jesus enters our darkest moment, is present at the time when we are humiliated and robbed of dignity and many other things. The coronavirus robs us of human contact, of work, the chance to play freely. It strips us back to our bare essentials. But what do we find in those moments that look so bleak? We can discover and maybe rediscover how much it matters to love one another and to be loved by another, that we're never removed from the love of God for us, never stripped of that.